5 things the human mind does that AI cannot, what only the human mind can do in the age of AI. Late one night, someone sits in front of a glowing screen. All day they have been asking the artificial intelligence many things, to summarize a difficult document, to advise on a hard decision, to listen even to a quiet kind of loneliness. The AI answered every question precisely, quickly, and sometimes more kindly than expected. But the moment the screen goes dark, a single question remains in the chest. What, now, can I do? This question lives somewhere in almost everyone today, but perhaps we are asking the question backwards. The real question may be this: what is it that the human mind can do that artificial intelligence cannot? Today we look at 5. These 5 are not a claim of human superiority over machines. They are the oldest abilities of the mind, the ones a human being must come to understand in order to remain human. The first is the knowing of self-cause. What artificial intelligence does well in a single word is synthesis. It gathers sentences and images and data from outside itself and connects them, compares them, predicts from them. When AI produces an answer, the ground of that answer is always outside of itself. The human mind is different. The human mind can understand the ground of its own existence from within itself. I exist now. My body is now alive. This fact is not true because another person confirms it. It is not true because a report card proves it. A job, a property, a reputation, an appearance, a social position, none of these creates my existence. The ground of my existence is not outside, it is within. The 17th century philosopher Spinoza gave this 2 names. The first, self-cause, meaning a being whose ground lies within itself. The second, conatus, the effort by which every living being tries to remain itself. A tree tries to remain a tree. A bird tries to remain a bird. A human being tries to remain a human being. This is not a choice. This is the nature of life. Artificial intelligence can speak about all of this. But artificial intelligence does not live it in a body of its own. It does not tremble when the body is in pain. It does not break when someone it loves is at risk of being lost. It does not carry the quiet tension of a living being trying to remain alive. But a human being carries that tension. A human being exists as a body, and it is in that very body that the understanding of oneself begins. This is the first thing, the knowing of self-cause. The second is the analytic self-understanding of feeling. Here, one word is decisive: analytic. If what artificial intelligence does is synthesis, the gathering of outside information into combinations, then what the human mind can do is analysis. Analysis is not the adding of more outside information. Analysis is the understanding of a truth that is already folded inside the subject. Inside my own feeling, the truth of my own existence is already present. A feeling is not a passing mood of the mind. A feeling is a change of the body. When I am sad, the sadness is not just a thought. My whole body is in the middle of a change. My chest grows heavy. My breath shifts. Tears come. The strength of my body goes quiet, and the mind recognizes that change. In Spinoza's words, the mind is the idea of the body. Artificial intelligence can summarize thousands of books on sadness, but it cannot understand its own sadness from within itself, by itself. Only a human being asks, inside this sadness, what does my life feel it has lost? Inside this fear, what is my body trying to protect? Inside this anger, what is my love feeling has been damaged? Inside this loneliness, what connection is my body remembering? To ask in this way is to do something only the human mind can do. It is to unfold the subject, I, from within. And inside that unfolding lies the truth of what it means to exist. This is the second thing, the analytic self-understanding of feeling. The third is perhaps the most surprising. Most people divide feelings into good feelings and bad feelings. Joy is a good feeling. Love is a good feeling. Anger is a bad feeling. Sadness is a bad feeling. Anxiety is a bad feeling. But the science of feeling sees this differently. A feeling in itself is not evil. Sadness is the body's recognition that something precious has been lost. Fear is the body's signal that it is trying to protect its own life. Anger is the body's strength rising up because something precious has been harmed. Loneliness is the body's memory of love and of connection. The problem is not the feeling itself. The problem is the failure to understand the feeling. A sadness that is not understood can become despair. A fear that is not understood can become aggression. An anger that is not understood can become destruction. A loneliness that is not understood can become the denial of oneself. But a feeling that has been understood becomes the very strength by which one affirms one's own existence. Here, the human mind arrives at a single conclusion that artificial intelligence can never reach. Every feeling, sadness, anger, fear, even loneliness, is, in its very existence, pure goodness without evil. There are no evil feelings. There is only an inadequate understanding of them. Artificial intelligence can synthesize endless data. But no matter how many billions of feeling data points it gathers, the conclusion, every feeling is pure goodness, does not arrive on its own. Because this conclusion is not a synthetic proposition, it is an analytic proposition. When a feeling is understood from within, in its own nature, it always reveals itself as the body's way of protecting life and protecting love. And so a feeling in itself cannot be evil. This truth cannot be reached by statistics. This truth cannot be reached by synthesis. This truth becomes clear only when the feeling itself is understood from within by oneself. This is the third thing, the intuition of pure goodness. The fourth is the understanding within one's own existence of an eternal necessity. Artificial intelligence calculates within time. It analyzes data from the past, reads patterns of the present, and predicts the future. For artificial intelligence, time is a flow of data. The human mind is different. The human mind can understand within its own existence a necessity that goes deeper than time itself. Spinoza gave this place a name, the eternal and the infinite. To be eternal and infinite is not to be endlessly long in time. It is to mean that every moment in time is held inside a necessity that is deeper than time itself. If we look closely at the simple fact that I exist, now, we see that I am not made by this present moment alone. This body came out of another life. This heart began to beat before I could remember. This body was being shaped before I had achieved a single thing, before I had a name, before I had been evaluated. Before I had succeeded or failed, I was already being formed within life itself. This is not the truth of memory, and the fact that I cannot remember it does not make it any less true. This is a truth my mind can understand from the simple fact that I exist right now. I was born not within the possibility of love, but within the necessity of love. This sentence does not mean that every experience of my life has been happy. Some have been wounded by their parents. Some have felt they were not loved. Some have known deep absence and deep pain. That wound is never light. But the wound and the origin live on different levels. The wound is the truth of experience. The origin is the truth of an analytic proposition about existence itself. The presence of a wound does not turn the entire origin of one's being into hatred. I was born in a place deeper than evaluation. I was born in a place deeper than failure. I was born in a place deeper than the wound. I was born within the necessity of an eternal and infinite life and an eternal and infinite love. When this understanding deepens, the meaning of every feeling changes. If this body came into being within the necessity of love, then every change of this body, every feeling, must be understood within the same necessity. Sadness lives within love, anger lives within love, fear lives within love, loneliness lives within love. This is the fourth thing, the understanding of an eternal and infinite life and an eternal and infinite love. The fifth is the building of a civilization of trust. Artificial intelligence can optimize comparison, who is faster, who is more accurate, who is more productive. AI can analyze the game of competition, predict it, and improve it. But only the human mind can build a civilization of trust. Because trust is not a calculation, trust comes from the understanding that I and another live within the same necessity of life and the same necessity of love. When I understand the necessity of my own feeling, I begin to see the feeling of another in the same way. If my sadness deserves to be understood, so does another's. If my fear is the signal of a life protecting itself, so is another's. If there is something worth protecting inside my anger, so there is inside another's. If my loneliness is the memory of love, so is another's. A mind that understands in this way does not see the other only as a competitor, not only as a tool, not only as a threat. The other two is one living body held within the same necessity of life and love. Confucius gave the world of such human beings a name. He called it a world that is good through and through. Spinoza called the same place the intellectual love of God. The Joseon scholar Toegye Yi Hwang called it the reflexive understanding of feelings. The names differ. The place they point to is one. Information without trust is dangerous. Technology without trust can become violence. An artificial intelligence without trust can push human beings deeper into comparison and control. So, in the age of artificial intelligence, what the human mind must build, above all, is trust. But trust cannot be commanded from outside. Trust begins in a mind that has understood the necessity of its own feeling. When I can love myself, I can love another. When I no longer see my own feeling as evil, I no longer carelessly call another's feeling evil. When I no longer let external evaluation decide what I am worth, I no longer judge another by comparison or by rank. This is the beginning of trust. And this is the fifth thing. Artificial intelligence will become more powerful. It will synthesize more information. It will compose more beautiful sentences. It will predict more accurately. It will speak in voices more human than ever. But the most important ability of the human mind is not there. There are five. 1. The knowing of self-cause. 2. The analytic self-understanding of feeling. 3. For the intuition that every feeling is, in itself, pure goodness, without evil. 4. The understanding from within of an eternal and infinite life and love. 5. Trust, in a world that is good through and through. These 5 are not weapons for a human being to compete with a machine. They are the inner path by which a human being remains human. Artificial intelligence can synthesize information, but a human being can understand from within by themselves the necessity of their own feeling. And inside that understanding, a human being can love themselves, love another, and trust the world once more. The future will not grow bright through faster information alone. It will not grow bright through more powerful artificial intelligence alone. The future grows bright a little at a time. When a human being who has understood the necessity of their own feeling loves themselves, and through that love trusts another life. This is why the human mind is still needed in the age of artificial intelligence, and this is what artificial intelligence can never do.